waiting till 6 o'clock.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I gave you an ADA. I didn't know if you wanted one, but I gave you one anyway. Or did you put it back in the pile? Oh, okay. I didn't know if you wanted it.
Okay. Good evening and welcome to the Spalding County Board of Commissioners March 16th extraordinary meeting. I would ask that you please silence your cell phones and all other electronic devices. At this time, I'd ask Commissioner Gwen Flowers Taylor from District 1 to deliver the invocation and Commissioner Ryan Bolden from District 4 to lead us in the pledge to the flag.
Father, we come into this room tonight asking for forgiveness for all the things that we should have done that we have not done today. We thank you for all the blessings that you've bestowed on everyone in this room. We thank you for clean water, fresh air, and a safe place to wake up in the morning, especially after this morning and all the terrible storms that came through. We ask you to be in this room tonight, Lord. We'll allow you to allow us to practice discipline, to practice justice, to practice understanding, and at the end of the day, make the decision that is best for Spalding County and Spalding County citizens. We ask you tonight for a blessing on our first responders, those of our staff who woke up before day this morning to make sure that the lights stayed on and that the roads were cleared of trees, and those who were at the hospitals waiting just in case there were any injuries. We thank you for them. We ask you to continue to put a hedge of protection around them. We ask you to bless our troops, bless our governor, and the President of the United States. We ask you to allow us to let God's will and his wisdom govern us as we make decisions tonight. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
If you would, please join me in pledge allegiance to our flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have a pretty full house tonight, as you all can see. I would ask that you keep your individual comments back and forth to yourself so other people around you can hear, having done this a number of times. Item number 4, presentation of financial statement. The presentation of the February 2026 financial report. This time I'd recognize Jamie Tarleton for the presentation of the February 2026 financial report.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Evening, afternoon. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to review the county's financial performance with you all tonight. Tonight's presentation will provide a summary of our financial activities for fiscal year 2026 as of February 28th. We'll take a closer look at revenue collections, expenditures, and encumbrances for both our general fund and our fire fund budgets. At this point, we are 8 months into the fiscal year, which represents approximately 66% of the annual budget. We're going to start with the fire fund. For February, total revenues came in at $11.33 million, while expenditures totaled $7.35 million. Encumbrances primarily related to the purchases of new fire trucks stood at $6,075,000. Revenues to date are $11,331,803, which is about 60% of the annual budget. Expenditures, including encumbrances, total $13,425,249 million. Of that amount, $6.75 million is encumbered for future purposes. Altogether, this represents roughly 69% of the county's budget. Next slide, please. This slide provides a broad overview of the county's financial standing in February. Across all departments and funds, overall financial conditions remain steady, with revenues and expenditures tracking within expected seasonal ranges. The county's, God bless you, God bless you. The county's fiscal position continues to benefit from thoughtful timing of spending along with careful revenue monitoring. As of the 8th month into the fiscal year, cumulative revenues stand at $60 million, while expenditures total $59 million. So far, revenues have reached about 78% of the budgeted amount, which is right on track for this point in the year. Next slide. I'm sorry. All right, here we're going to go over revenues. So far, the county has collected $50 million in taxes, which represents 82.2% of total revenue. These tax collections include real property tax, both current and prior years, along with interest and penalties on real and personal property, public utility tax, motor vehicle tax, ad valorem tax, tag and title fees, local option sales tax, alcohol tax, business occupation tax, railroad equipment tax, as well as other taxable sources. Our miscellaneous revenue totals $1.8 million, or about 2.9% of overall revenue. This category includes income from resource officers, inmate phone and store commissions, CI detail reimbursements, motor coach trips, sales of surplus property and equipment, as well as spay and neuter fees. We have charges for services that account for $4.2 million, or 6.8% of total revenue. These include fees from probate and magistrate courts, adult probation and supervision, inmate housing costs, medical and clothing reimbursements for both the correctional institution as well as the sheriff's department, as well as revenue from animal control, recreation programs, scrap iron sales, state collection fees, and recording fees. Moving on to licenses and permits, they have generated roughly $1 million, or 1.6%, from business licenses, alcohol permits, building permits, sewer inspections, zoning and subdivision permits, along with marriage and pistol licenses. Next, we're going to fines and forfeitures. They contributed $1.4 million, or 2.3%, from superior, state, and magistrate courts, clerk of courts, fees, victim assistance, and drug abuse court fines.
What, in what time frame?
This is, so we're reporting through February 28th, 2026.
So I
So
mean,
you're
like
going to get
July to-
yes, you're
okay.
going to get a fiscal year cumulative total. Next, we're moving to intergovernmental revenues that have totaled $2.3 million, making up 3.7% of total revenue. These funds come from local, state, and federal sources, including real estate transfer tax, Georgia Highway Safety and COPS grants, Performance Partnership Award, VOCA grants, Accountability Court grants, DOT reimbursements, FEMA and BOOST programs, in addition to other various grants. Next, we have our investment income, which has added $260,000, or 0.4%, and donations accounted for $14,000, or roughly, God bless you, God bless you,
God bless.
0.1%. Overall, revenue collections are increasing as expected, and we are starting to see the closing of the gap with offsetting expenditures. We anticipate increases over the remaining fiscal year 2026. Next slide, please. All right, moving on to expenditures. Employee salaries, benefits, and FICA taxes make up the largest share of our expenditures at 49%, or about $28.7 million. Purchases and contractual services account for 24.4%, or roughly $14.3 million. This category includes all your radio and computer equipment, software, office equipment maintenance, travel expenses, legal fees, dues, subscriptions, education and training, election expenses, telephone and postage services, as well as vehicle maintenances. Next, we have other costs, which represent 13.2% or 7.7 million, and these cover items such as park repairs and supply reimbursements for our T-Splosh paving and sidewalks, the Cigna flexible spending account, our street lights, contributions to the Griffin Spalding Development Authority, as well as the airport operations, forestry services, public safety training center, archives, the health department, and the library. Supplies, which is including office and departmental, utilities, uniforms, fuel, and small equipment, make up 8.3% or 4.8 million of the budget. Our debt service accounts for 1.3% or $768,000. This includes principal and interest payments that we make on enterprise vehicles, Noresco capital leases, other capital leases for equipments such as our track loaders, our skid steers, graders, backhoes, and excavators for public works. Finally, we have our capital outlay, which represents 3.8% or 2.2 million for items like playground materials, walking trails, our master park plan, vehicles, and machinery for public works and parks and recreation. Overall, expenditures are tracking close to projections, apart from encumbrances for major capital purchases, strongly highly effective strategic planning, and influx revenues. All investments were anticipated in the budget and seemingly reflect a strong resiliency overall. Next slide, please. Here we have our county bank balances as of February 28th, 2026. The Truist operating bank account demonstrated continued financial resilience throughout February. The month began with a balance of $39.96 million, and the activity within the account reflects the normal rhythm of the county's revenue collections and expenditure cycles. Across all checking and investment accounts combined, the county has held approximately $68 million at month end. This represents our available liquid financial assets and underscores the stable financial posture Spalding County maintains as we progress through the fiscal year. Strong cash balances allows us to support operations, meet financial obligations, and plan responsibly for upcoming capital and operational needs. That will conclude the financial report for the evening. Commissioners, I'm here to answer any questions. Thank you.
Are there any questions from the commissioners tonight? Do I have a motion to accept the financial report?
So move.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. Thank you, Jamie. We
Thank you,
appreciate
you all. I hope you have a great evening. Stay
Thank you.
safe.
Item 5, presentation and proclamation. Presentation of the annual comprehensive financial report for fiscal year 2025 from Malden and Jenkins. I'd like this time to have the Deputy County Manager to please make introductions and
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Elliott is a partner with Malden and Jenkins, specializing in public sector audits and financial consulting. With extensive experience governmental accounting, he brings a keen eye for detail and commitment in fiscal integrity. Justin will be reviewing our fiscal year 2025 audit, and I will be turning it over to him now.
Thank you.
thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me. I think y'all should have
We do.
you got it, audit discussion analysis. I'll keep the majority of that, my presentation to this. I will try not to take up too much of your time. It seems like y'all have a full house.
I thought everybody came to listen to you.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. Good deal. Well, I was, for the most part, I'm gonna keep this presentation to two parts. One about the overview of the auditor's report, which is located in the front of your financial statements. And then the other part, I'm kind of hit over some highlights, some financial highlights, and some at some of the fund level areas. If you move to page 4, it's kind of where I discussed the independent auditor's report.
Yes.
As you can see, this is showing the highlights, such as the responsibilities of the management and of the auditors during the audit process. The financial statements are the responsibility of management. As for the auditor's responsibility, As external auditors, it is to express an opinion on the county's financial statements based on our audit, which was conducted in accordance with government auditing standards. As a result of our audit, I am happy to say, pleased to say, that we were able to issue an unmodified opinion, a clean opinion. That is the only opinion you want.
Yes, that's exactly.
What this basically means is, the county's financial statements are considered to be presented fairly. This is the highest level of assurance we as external auditors can provide. So that is a good thing. Moving on to, I'm gonna hit on moving towards the financial statements on page 6 as part of the overview. The financial statements as a whole, when you will see, they have 3 different components. It's the government-wide financial statements, and then the fund level financial statements, and then your notes to your financial statements. I will try to speak, I'm gonna speak to the fund level financial statements, mainly the general fund, considering that's the majority of your activity. You can see on the next few pages, 7 through, I think, 9 or 10, there are a few graphs, particularly regarding the general fund. The general fund's overall revenues totaled $72 million in fiscal year 25. 42 million of that is regarding your property taxes, which is roughly 60% of the total revenues. The second largest revenue source is your sales taxes, which is a total of 12% at 8.9 million. These are all, nothing's unusual about this for a county such as yourself. Moving to the next page, on page 8, your graph, you have another one that kind of summarizes the general fund expenditures, which totaled $65.5 million. Your largest expenditure is regarding public safety at 49%, $32 million. Also very common for a county of your size. The next largest would be your general government at 17%. Both of these are, I think nothing here jumped off the page being a normal, not normal. Everything seemed very routine compared to last year and this year. The next few graphs show a more of a historical view of your numbers of the general fund. As you can see, that everything is moving in the right direction. Your revenues and your expenditures are both increasing, but in the right direction. I don't think there was a year but one where the expenditures exceeded the revenues. As you can see, as a whole, your fund balance over the last 6 years increased a net increase of $31 million, which I think most of those years were also a positive change. I think you only had 1 year that wasn't, which I think that was in 21, as a lot of counties had that as well. The last graph you'll see on page 9, it shows the overall financial strength of the general fund. It's, as your expenditures are getting closer to your fund balance. Also, another thing I'd like to note is that the fund balance represents about 6 months of your expenditures. For a county with a June 30 year end, that's a healthy fund balance and expenditures. Do want to make sure before wrapping up, I want to make sure we discuss the overall, look into sorry, make sure I got my notes here. I want to make sure to thank Erica and her team for all their hard work. And, everything we did this year was, we were trying to get it all done in a timely manner, and we got it done as quickly as possible. But now I was going to open the floor for any questions y'all may have regarding the overall audit. There's some more information in here, but I figured y'all had a full agenda.
All right. Anybody have a question for Mullen and Jenkins or audit?
Y'all looking at me. I have a curious question. When is the last time that we've been with Mullen and Jenkins? 25 years, right? Something like that. When's the last time we had findings?
Last name what?
Findings.
I think it was in 2 or 3 years ago with
Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago.
tax commission. We had something with something with the tax commissioner that delayed the audit or something to that. Can't remember exactly what.
20, you think 23?
It's like 20,
Hard to
23,
say, but it was a few
Yeah.
years ago. Yes.
You remember, Ms. Gwynn, this is the issue when we couldn't get the information to finish the audit.
They
from the
had to
tax
bring someone
commissioner.
in.
Yeah, they had to bring in external
Yeah.
help from the state.
Yeah.
How long has Erica been here?
2 years. 3 years. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the annual comprehensive financial report for 2025?
Motion to accept the audit.
Right.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
We really
Thank you.
appreciate the information and the results.
All right, yeah, I appreciate it.
Well done, Erica, well done. Jamie,
Good job.
well done.
Thank you, have a good one.
Thank you. Item number 2, proclamation for Women's History Month. Ms. Quinn?
So I know I'm not supposed to say anything, and you asked me if I would read this, but I do have to say something. I just think that it's sad that we have to say, particularly, that we have to recognize women in history. Because nothing has happened around here or anywhere without women. So, in the future, since this has been here since the 80s, maybe we might look at recognizing women in the community who are actually doing stuff now. Women who have done things. We have legislative people, we have judges, we have women running million-dollar businesses, we have all kinds of women making things happen here. So just as a forenote, I'm done, okay. So,
Thank you for those comments.
thank you. Spalding County, Georgia, a proclamation, Women's History Month. Whereas women throughout Spalding County, the state of Georgia, and the United States have played vital roles in shaping our communities and our nation through their leadership, service, innovation, and perseverance across fields such as public service, education, business, healthcare, the arts, military service, philanthropy, and civic engagement. And whereas the contributions of women, both past and present, have strengthened our society, enriched our cultural heritage, and advanced the ideals of equality, justice, and opportunity for all. And whereas in 1980, President Jimmy Carter issued the first presidential proclamation declaring the week of March 8th as National Women's History Week. And in 1986, Congress expanded the observance to the entire month of March, establishing Women's History Month as an annual national celebration. And whereas Spalding County recognizes and honors the extraordinary accomplishments of the women who have shaped our community and acknowledges the ongoing leadership of women whose dedication continues to move Spalding County forward. And whereas it is fitting that we take time during the month of March to reflect upon and celebrate the achievements, the resilience, and the spirit of women who have influenced our history and who continue to inspire future generations. Now therefore be it resolved that the Spalding County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim March 2026 as Women's History Month in Spalding County, Georgia, and encourages all citizens to join in recognizing the significant contributions women have made and continue to make to our community, our state, and our nation. In witness hereof, whereof, the Spalding County Board of Commissioners has caused this proclamation to be issued on this 16th day of March 2026. Signature Chairman Clay W. Davis III and County Manager Steve Ledbetter, Ph.D. Motion to accept the proclamation.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. Let's,
Take your time.
So you're gonna let every woman in the room come up and get a picture or what?
That would work.
I didn't realize that.
yes.
Yeah.
Not all the way.
Hey, Clay. Hey, well, they get to hold the proclamation.
You get a hold of proclamation.
Yeah, you and Clay hold the proclamation. And then we can get more people in.
guess we come on down here. I gotta go get back.
Oh, I'm going back to
Gotta
the floor.
stop playing, nurses. Y'all ain't gonna be able to go home tonight. Oh, I know, I'm terrible.
Item number 3, proclamation recognizing the National Nutrition Month. I believe Dr. Jones is here to come and read the proclamation. Yeah, there she is.
Thank you, Chairman Davis, and the Board of Commissioners, Dr. Ledbetter, for allowing me to read this proclamation. Before I read it, I really want to say that I am extremely proud of our Youth Advisory Council and all of the work that they have done in the community as far as educating the community members about nutrition and how to stay drug-free. So, proclamation recognizing National Nutrition Month, March 2026. Whereas National Nutrition Month is an annual nutrition education and information campaign observed each March, established by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics to encourage all people to learn about making informed food choices and developing healthy eating and physical activity habits. And whereas National Nutrition Month began in 1973 as National Nutrition Week and expanded to a month-long observance in 1980 in response to growing public interest in nutrition. And whereas the 2026 National Nutrition Month theme, Discover the Power of Nutrition, highlights the essential role nutrition plays in helping individuals and communities thrive. And whereas the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics provides science-based resources each March to empower consumers to make informed food choices and develop healthy eating and physical activity habits. And whereas registered dietitian nutritionists and registered nutrition and dietetics technicians provide evidence-based guidance to individuals, families, and communities, and are recognized during National Nutrition Month through designated awareness dates, including Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day, which is March 11th, and Registered Nutrition Dietetics Technician Day, which is March 12th. And whereas nutrition has the power to support learning, work performance, physical activity, recovery, resilience, and overall well-being at every age, and balanced varied food choices can help power daily life. And whereas improving access to reliable nutrition information and practical skills such as meal planning, budgeting, safe food handling, and cooking can help residents make sustainable choices that support long-term health. And whereas National Nutrition Month encourages households, schools, workplaces, and community organizations to strengthen healthy habits, connect residents to credible resources, and support community efforts that improve access to nutritious foods. And whereas the Spalding County Board of Commissioners recognizes the Spalding Youth Advisory Council for its leadership and engagement in promoting positive health behaviors among youth and the broader community, and commends Advisor Lisa Fambro for her dedicated and tireless efforts to highlight healthy eating habits and to educate the community on the importance of remaining drug-free. And whereas Spalding County recognizes that community health and well-being are advanced when residents have opportunities to learn, practice, and sustain healthy eating and active living habits, and when community partners collaborate to promote nutrition, education, and healthy environments. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Spalding County. The Spalding County Board of Commissioners hereby recognizes March 2026 as National Nutrition Month and endorses the 2026 theme, Discover the Power of Nutrition. The board encourages all residents of Spalding County to discover the power of nutrition by making informed food choices, enjoying a variety of foods from all food groups, building practical skills for planning and preparing meals, and incorporating physical activity
in ways that work for them and their families. The board recognizes and thanks registered dietitian nutritionists and registered nutrition and dietetics technicians for their service to individuals and the community, and encourages residents to seek credible, science-based guidance from qualified professionals when appropriate. The board encourages county departments and community partners such as schools, healthcare providers, faith-based organizations, civic groups, and nutrition education programs to share accurate nutrition information and promote practical steps residents can take during March and throughout the year. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption. So proclaimed by the Spalding County Board of Commissioners this 16th day of March 2026. Clay W. Davis, III, Chair, Board of Commissioners, and Dr. Steve Ledbetter, Clerk. Thank you for allowing me to read this proclamation. I think it's extremely important that we recognize our youth for all the work that they do because they are our future leaders. So,
Thank you, Dr. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
And a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. Item number 6, citizen comments. Speakers must sign up prior to the meeting and provide their names, addresses, and the topics they wish to discuss. Speakers must direct your remarks to the board and not to individual members or the audience. Personal disagreements with individual members or county employees are not a matter of public concern, and personal attacks will not be tolerated. The chairman has the right to limit your comments in the interest of disposing of the county's business in an efficient and respectful manner. Speakers will be allocated 3 minutes to speak on their chosen topics as they relate to matters pertaining to the jurisdiction of the Board of Commissioners. No questions will be asked by any of the members during citizen comments. Outbursts from the audience will not be tolerated. Common courtesy and civility are expected at all times during the meeting. No speakers will be permitted to speak more than 3 minutes or more than once unless the board votes to suspend this rule. Dr. Ledbetter, do we have somebody who has signed up tonight?
Yes, sir, we do. Ann Clark, if you would step forward, state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. I'm Ann Clark. My address is 107 Chaplow Lane, Griffin. And I am speaking on parking, permanent parking in subdivisions. I know that you all passed an ordinance last year on parking, permanent parking in subdivisions. That's a problem in my area. I have talked to Dr. Ledbetter. I think I ran him down when he was in the senior citizen, and also District 1 when I've talked to you. And I've done the app 4 times. I did code enforcement. They came out. One time they put letters, but nothing was done. So the people just kind of let them in the street. You had to go pick them up. Code enforcement came out again, I think, and talked to them. And then they did move the cars. But then, nothing is done. This Spalding County not going to do anything to them because you can make money like that instead of raising property taxes. Just enforce the law. You can make money. But anyway, it came out a third time, and then nothing was done. So they're still there. Buses are coming through. My husband is a retired firefighter. Houses were built 3 subdivisions down. He said, and those houses are so close to each other. If one catch fire, the other is going to catch fire. Guess what? It was a fire here last year. One caught fire. I think it was 3 or 4 houses that caught fire because they were so close together. Now, suppose that happened in our subdivision and the fire truck cannot get through. That is not right. You all, that is not right. Not only do they park, they double park because they know nothing is going to get done. A sheriff deputy came out Saturday because they were double parked. The sheriff deputy made it worse. What the sheriff deputy did was he told them, oh, you can't double park, but you can park. So they're parked now lined up behind each other. And they think it's okay to do it because the sheriff deputy said, oh, that's the way you're supposed to park. Do they not know the ordinance? As a retired educator, my principals went to the meeting, came back, and relayed whatever they discussed in the board meeting to us as teachers, and we did it. So do we not have someone here from the sheriff department to go back and relay that to the deputies, that an ordinance has been passed, that there is no permanent parking in the subdivision? So that's really what I'm here for. I'm missing my class. This could have been taken care of a long time ago. There are no signs. I read the paper. I like the Griffin Daily News. I am a subscriber. And the paper said that signs were supposed to go up, but guess what? 0 signs. And I know it doesn't cost a lot to make a sign that says no parking. We have none. So I'm just pleading and asking for your help. And that's for the Sherbrooke Woods subdivision right in front of Tigers Park. Please help us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for coming forth.
Jamie Newton.
Hi, I live at 101 St. Luke Drive. I'd like to talk to you about the condition of stuff on the side of the roads, not just normal trash, but we've got 2 businesses out on Williamson Road area in Roversatella. That is pretty obvious that these businesses are responsible for a lot of the gravel, the concrete mess pouring out of the trucks. Like if you go down and you turn south on Roversatella at the quarry, you're going to see just rocks poured the whole way. And it's obvious it's coming from the business. We need to do something to hold them more accountable for it. If that's pouring out of my truck, I'm going to get a ticket. So I don't know if we need to have enforcement out there. You know what? I don't care about the speeders. It's 35 there. Haven't seen anybody coming through 35 causing problems, but there's rocks flying up in windshields all the time. Let's give the guys speeding a break. Let's go after the trucks, and let's start holding the businesses accountable. If you've got a bar and you've got drunk drivers coming out of that bar left and right, you're going to start going after that business because they're over serving. They're causing problems. Let's go after that business and say, y'all need to get somebody out there cleaning this road daily because we're tired of it. We're tired of that intersection. It's not small gravel. There was a rock the other day, I took a photograph, the size of a bowling ball in the intersection on Williamson Road. I called 2 of the commissioners here because that seems to be the dividing line, I believe. I didn't get a call back from the commissioners, but I just think that's why I decided to come down here. I'd like somebody to go down there and see the condition of that. Now, that's one of the businesses. The other one is the concrete company there on Williamson Road. More than one time I've seen where I don't know if they've left the chute open, they forgot what they were doing, and they've poured concrete the whole way down, turned up 1941, gone north 1941, and they finally figure out they're pouring concrete out the side of their truck. You can see it today. You see it in the intersection there at, Carver Road? Just loose gravel built up from concrete trucks. And it's like you can see the starting point, and you see where it fades off when they're done. So we need to start enforcement there and going after the businesses to say, it's not okay. We're not here to just keep cleaning up after the mess that's coming from your business. We've got other businesses that do that, and they clean up after themselves. I don't know if it's in this county, but it's Butts County has a landfill. They've got to get out there in an orange vest, rides around, picks the trash up, make sure they're not being negative impact on the neighborhoods. So what can we do about that? What can you guys do about that? Have some more enforcement there? I don't know, make a new ordinance on that. Whatever you got to do, just control it, keep our roads clean.
Thank you.
Cindy Sanders.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
My name's Cindy Sanders. Oops, can't see. My name's Cindy Sanders, and I reside at 206 Park Street. I am speaking to formally document a catastrophic failure in animal control enforcement that has resulted in a preventable death of my cat and continues to threaten the safety of my neighborhood. In November 2024, I won a restitution case against this neighbor whose 2 dogs attacked my property, on my property. Following the incident, Officer Higgins and the Spalding County Animal Care and Control failed to uphold their duties under the Georgia Responsible Dog Ownership Law, OCGA 4-8-23, and local ordinances. Therefore, I am requesting an immediate investigation and the mandatory impoundment classification of these dogs as vicious to ensure the safety of our neighborhood. I first emailed a request on 3/01 to Dr. Ledbetter. Failure to enforce OCGA 4-8-23. Despite a documented history of aggression, no follow-up was conducted to ensure the owners implemented required containment or fencing. Violation on mandatory sterilization. 1 dog was notably not spayed at the first incident, a direct violation of Spalding County Ordinance 12-1007. Public safety threat. These dogs are now growling at children and preventing the neighbors from safely exiting their vehicles and killing other cats. Witnesses are available. Investigative neglect. During the most recent fatal attack of my cat, Officer Higgins failed to verify rabies status, OCGA 31-19-5. Ignored visible medical neglect, severe hair loss on 1 dog, and failed to examine the animals for physical evidence of the fatal attack. The Spalding County Animal Care and Control mission is to enhance public safety by removing aggressive animals. By ignoring state and local laws, this department has allowed a known danger to escalate. I am requesting a formal investigation into these procedural failures and immediate enforcement of the Responsible Dog Ownership Act to protect our community from further harm. This is a picture of what my cat looked like. These are the wounds on my cat. The cat was found in the person's yard of the dogs. She said they got hit by a car. I have evidence that this cat was not hit by a car. I have a list of the prior violations for you to look at. And I also have questions for the board to ask animal control. This is a continuing problem in our area. And they did not even, I was watching as Officer Higgins went down. He did not look at the animals.
Thank you.
I also have copies that I can hand to the clerk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dan Hunt.
My name is Dan Hunt. I live at 550 Beautyberry Drive in Griffin. My statement concerns your citizens' comments policy. I attended the last meeting on March 2nd. 3 individuals stood here and presented their comments during the citizens' comments. I'd like to thank those 3 individuals if I could, because it's not easy speaking in public, especially in this environment. The first gentleman got up and he talked about a dog that wandered into his yard with a broken leg and bleeding in the head. He called animal control, took them 2 days to come out for that dog. Another lady got up and she went to a shelter. And after her visit, she felt more threatened than she did service. And then the third young lady got up, and she had her speech ready. And she started, read, 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 read. She went so fast, I couldn't understand her. I couldn't follow her, and I don't think you could either. Read, 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 and she got to the end, and bang, the dinger went off. Her 3 minutes were up. And then it dawned on me. She ran out of time. That's your policy. She ran out of time. I pictured that woman standing in front of a mirror, in front of her family, time after time after time, practicing that speech so that she could get it inside 3 minutes, because that's your policy. If we don't recognize the humiliation and embarrassment that that young lady endured, we've lost our empathy. We've lost our compassion. And through all of those statements, no one said a word. No one said welcome. No one said thank you. No one said we hear you. No one said a word. And over the next couple of days when I sat at home, I was sitting right over there, it dawned on me, neither did I. Regardless of the policy, neither did I. And there's a little bit of shame that I'm going to live with in that one. But this isn't about me. It's about the people of Spalding County. It's about your constituents, the people that voted you into those chairs. It's about respect. It's about dignity. It's about every individual's right to be heard without bias, intimidation, or indifference. We have a right to be acknowledged and know that we have been heard. Your citizens' comment policy needs to change. Because if we're going to continue to treat people like we treated that young lady, I have 3 words for you. Meet Dan Hunt.
Kenneth Moore.
Thank you. My name is Kenneth Moore with 672 Maple Drive here in Griffin, Georgia. I'd like to speak to you about the county's recent decision to demolish the former Jan's furniture building next door. Lifelong resident of Griffin and Spalding County. Current senior principal of PBK Architects, which is formerly Manley Spangler Smith Architects, who's been in this city for over 75 years. Prior to that, I was with Cropsey & Associates. I've been a practicing architect here in Griffin for, 32 years, I believe. With Cropsey, I worked on the Griffin Region Welcome Center, the Downtown Development Authority building, and other buildings downtown Griffin. I'm familiar with the area. I'm also a current member of the Griffin Main Street Board and a founding member of the Historic Preservation Commission, City of Griffin. I am concerned, and I do apologize for coming now, which hopefully is not too late. But never in my wildest imagination did I ever think that the county would be demolishing a building in downtown Griffin. Unfortunately, it was after it made social media that many of us became aware of it, so that is why I'm here today. I have received the reports from March of 23 by the structural engineer and by the architect who observed the building. Both of their reports noted some repair work that needed to be done, but after 29 years of owning the building, it's the county, I mean, that should be regular maintenance, and we all know owning a building downtown requires a little bit more attention than buildings elsewhere. But in their reports, nowhere in either report, both reports I should say, recommended a deeper inspection, get all the, I don't want to call it junk, but everything that was inside the building, remove it, get better lighting in there so they could observe the conditions much better than at the time of the report. I actually spoke to the structural engineer, William Peltier, and he said nowhere in a phone conversation recently Nowhere in his report did he recommend demolishing the building. That was totally, and everything he said. I've walked the building, interior and exterior. I saw no signs of significant concerns to me of why the building needs to be torn down. I should also say that it will be significantly more. I know the county's current intentions is to tear it down and build back. It will be significantly more to do that versus renovating the building. I
Thank
should
you.
also, in closing,
Thank you.
can also say that concern that the 362 development, the county is imposing historic requirements on that,
Thank
which
you.
are not applying to your own building downtown. Shows me concern. I ask you, please reconsider in saving a building in the historic district. Thank you.
Frank Harris.
Good evening. My name is B. Frank Harris. I reside at 1881 South 6th Street Extension. I'm up here tonight for two purposes, and I'll try to make them quick. First off, I would like to thank the commissioners for having acknowledged Women's History Month. There's not a man here that got here without the help of a woman. I'm reminded of a story that an old friend of mine told me years ago. And she said, quite frankly, if it weren't for the conjugal benefits, there'd probably be a bounty on y'all. And I think she's right. I'd like to echo what my friend has just said about the old Jan's building. The city has gotten in a tear more than anybody else I've ever seen. I'm on the board of directors of the Griffin Spalding Historical Society. It started out as the Griffin Preservation and Historical Society. Because we wanted the county to be included, we changed the name. And it was started actually by three people who got tired of seeing the city tear down buildings like, I can name you so many buildings that were torn down. The Methodist Church used to sit where One Griffin Center is. I'd like the county to do a little bit better. I'd like you to take a long, hard second look at retrofitting the Jan's building. At least come out and give people some full reason to think that that was the only option we had. And that's all I can ask you to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Frank. Okay.
Mr. Chair, that's all who have signed up this evening to speak in public hearing.
Thank you.
In public hearing?
Sorry, in citizen comments. Please forgive me.
Item number 7, public comment. Public hearing this evening.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, over here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If I could ask the commission to amend your agenda at this point to include an executive session to discuss pending litigation, to review items and developments in pending litigated matter, and then return back and then conduct the public hearing on the McElroy property.
Only if it doesn't take too long. We got a lot of people out here who want to speak.
I understand.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to enter an executive session.
Second.
All right. Under the Georgia Open Meeting Act of OCGA 50-14-3, authorized OCGA 50-14-3B1A for the purpose of discussing pending and potential litigation with legal counsel. This session is limited to matters involving legal strategy and advice related to claims, settlement negotiations on judicial actions affecting the county. Do I have any discussion? All those in favor, please signify.
Need a motion in a second, please.
Oh, I thought we already got them, didn't we?
We got a motion. Yeah, we got a motion in a second to amend the agenda. We got to vote on amending the agenda.
Okay, all right. To amend the agenda. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. Motion is to amend the agenda has been made. And
Now I'm gonna motion to go into executive session for
Okay.
aforementioned reason.
All right, I have a motion. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. We're in executive session.
Y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're gonna have this.
motion to come out
We're still missing Gwen.
of executive session?
Oh, I thought we were.
Motion to
Hey,
come out.
get your, Clay, get your mic in your, it's kind of pointed away.
Okay, do I have a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4-0, motion carries. Thank you. Item number 7, public hearing. That's what, you want me to go ahead and read that, and then you're gonna talk?
Yes.
Okay,
Go ahead.
thank you. This evening, we will hear from the public regarding a reconsideration on remand, application 24-09Z, McElroy Reynolds LLC, owner, 1279 Malloy Road, parcel 275011010, 2833 Williamson Road, parcel 234040002B, and a portion of 2831 Williamson Road, parcel 234040002, located in land lot 22, 43, 44 of the Second Land District, consisting of approximately 12.5 combined acres. The applicant is requesting to rezone from AR1, agricultural residential, to C1, highway commercial, for a proposed convenience store with fuel service and fuel office and retail space. At this time, I'd like to have a motion to go into public hearing.
Motion to enter public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, we're in public hearing. Mr. Galloway, would you please start us off?
Yes, sir. Can everyone hear me? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Newton Galloway, and I serve as zoning counsel for Spalding County. And my purpose tonight is to advise everyone in the hearing what the procedures are and how this hearing came to be. The same property was considered in rezoning application 24-09Z with a decision made to deny the application in 2025. After that point, the case went into litigation in Superior Court. Excuse me. The complaint was filed by McElroy Reynolds LLC, and the county responded. In terms of resolving cases that involve zoning decisions, the court has no authority to zone property. Only the Board of Commissioners can zone property. So what the court does is it remands the case back to the Board of Commissioners. That can be done either at the conclusion of the case if it decides that the commission acted improperly or illegally, or it can be done by agreement of the parties. That said, the Board of Commissioners on remand cannot enter into what is known as contract zoning, which essentially allows zoning to be approved based upon a contract or agreement. So consequently, the parties entered into a remand agreement which set out the authority from both parties to have the case remanded back to the Board of Commissioners for reconsideration. Because of that, it comes back to the Board of Commissioners without any direction as to what should be done from the court, the remand order being adopted by consent, remanding it back by the Superior Court. So it comes back with no direction from the court, and because of the provisions that require or restrict the ability to enter into contracts for zoning, it comes back with no obligation on the part of the Board of Commissioners to take any action to approve or deny. What the remand agreement does is provide a mechanism that in the event, in their discretion, the Board of Commissioners should approve or deny the rezoning, certain things happen thereafter. In the event, the Board of Commissioners votes tonight and to approve the rezoning with the conditions specified in the remand agreement, the plaintiff has agreed to do certain things which would include the dismissal of the litigation. But for purposes of tonight, you are essentially in a new public hearing. The evidence starts over, and you will speak, if you choose, you will speak to the board in the exact same manner as the public hearing was first conducted on this application in 2025. So with that, Mr. Chairman, that sets out the procedure. There will not be a new staff report provided. That's been done. This did not have to go back to the Planning Commission to come through this because all of those processes have been completed, but it is back before you for reconsideration and the conduct of a new zoning hearing. And I might add, one of the reasons that we recommend and we are conducting the hearing, again, is because the time that has passed between the first time you had the hearing and denied it and the present time, and to make it clear to the people who are here and to the developer what the process is, and that this process commences from the beginning again.
Thank you, Mr. Newton. All right, we're getting ready to start. We'll use the same 3-minute rule that we've used, you saw us use earlier. Please, I'd like for you to, I know everybody wants to applaud when it comes out just like that. Let's slow that down, stop that. It bothers some people that are around. I know that, yeah, I feel good about it, but let's please try to resist doing that as much as possible. All right?
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
We have been imposing a 20-minute time limit on both presentations by both sides. Of course, the applicant gets to speak again, just as they did before. And pursuant to your direction, as I understand it, the board has decided to forego a 20-minute time limit, though limiting people to 3 minutes regarding the people who are opposing the application.
Correct.
So the first place to start would be with the applicant.
All right.
Members of the commission, my name is Kirk Feldstuhl, 1105 West Peachtree Street with Smith, Gambrell, and Russell here on behalf of the owner and the applicant, McElroy Rental LLC. As you know, this case has been in litigation as a result of the denial of the rezoning. This is here on remand, so I don't intend to go through the information again. I think you have that all before you. We have discussed a set of conditions which would result in compromise. We feel like the project is different as a result of those discussions, including a substantial reduction in the amount of impervious surface. At the request during the discussions, we moved the access point. This, by the way, is what was before us on the first application. So we've moved the access points as requested, and we've agreed to, although this is a C1 district, there would be the convenience store, the gasoline sales, but in terms of the two ancillary uses to the side, we've agreed to the C1A permitted uses. And so we think as a result of that, based on the discussions we've had, that we've improved this substantially. Hopefully it will, the board will agree with that, but I'll reserve the rest of my time for any kind of additional discussion we need, and thank you.
Thank you, sir.
No, if I could add one more point to what he has said. We did receive today a modified site plan which, consistent with the conditions that are in the remand agreement, identifies the second entry and exit off of Malloy Road rather than Roversatella. Y'all have not yet seen that, but it is
going this way instead of going this way.
That's correct.
Okay. Dr. Ledbetter?
Mr. John Collier.
Can I ask a question?
You get 3 minutes, sir.
Ask a question before I walk up.
It's up to you.
We're not answering questions. This is a public hearing. You have an opportunity to speak. We're listening, sir.
Okay, my name is John Collier. We haven't seen, I'm at 359 Rawls Road. We have not seen the new proposal. Have y'all? No. No. We haven't seen it. So what are we here to discuss?
Hey.
You're not going to answer the questions. Okay, good. All right. I read several emails from our county commissioners. And one of them said, we have to remain constitutional for McElroy. Well, what about Constitution for the citizens? Okay? We're the taxpayer. We're the one that's going to have to change. We're the one that's not getting anything out of this. We're not getting anything. Matter of fact, I'll get a new skyline. It's going to be lights. All right? They also said there was 2 decisions that had to be made. A or B. Okay? There's actually a third one. A third one is it gets passed and they get to do what they want to with the land. Because we don't know what's going to be done now because it hasn't been brought to us tonight like it should have been. Once he gets everything gets passed, they build it, people come. Y'all go on vacation, you come back in the following weekend. The house is gone, and they've started construction on the other 65 acres. Okay? Because they don't need your permission to use that 65 acres. They can make it look just like it is in Zebulon, Georgia. That strip mall that's there. Right there at McElroy's headquarters. They can make it look just like that. Again, because we didn't get what we were supposed to get here tonight. We didn't get the new proposal to what was happening. We only got 2 signs put up for this meeting. There's nothing on 362. Everything is on Malloy and Rover Zatella. And now we're finding out tonight, Rover Zatella doesn't have anything to do with this. We still don't know. Somebody step up and tell us what's going on. I'm tired of it. It's been going on for 2 freaking years. The man in charge is not even here tonight, Mr. McElroy. He slapped us in the face when we started this, and he's slapping us again.
Thank you, sir.
Of course.
Chase Alexandrian.
My name is Chase Alexandrian. My family and I live at 25 Rover Road. Ladies and gentlemen, chairman, members of the board, I'm going to begin with a very simple question. If the people that live in a community overwhelmingly oppose a rezoning, and rezoning that parcel has no benefit to the citizens that live in that area, then who does the rezoning really benefit? The people who live in this district have been very clear since the beginning. We've opposed it. Y'all denied it. Y'all were with us. We said we would support residential homes on 3-acre lots that are consistent with its current AR1 zoning. That would respect the rural culture of the area and the expectations of the families who chose to live here. We don't think it was an unreasonable position. Really, it was a compromise. At first, we were pretty firm we didn't want anything. The applicant should have made the zoning request part of their purchase agreement. It was either foolish or naive to think because their name is plastered on every development site from here to Macon that they could bully their way into getting what they wanted. The comments made here tonight are not for a show. It's not to be a spectacle. They come from people whose homes, land, and quality of life will be directly affected by this, the decision that you make in the room tonight. If you don't live in our district, in District 4, you probably won't experience the impacts of this. So the voices of the people you're going to hear from that live in District 4, their voices should matter the most on your vote. One thing, this has gone crazy in social media, as everyone knows, but one thing that is overwhelmingly concerning is the process. I appreciate it being explained to us because I was confused on how we got here. But the appearance of backdoor negotiations, misinformation, comes off as scandalous and inappropriate. Public hearings should not feel like formalities. They demand transparency, which also means avoiding conflicts of interest. So I would ask that if any board member has a professional relationship with the applicant or has a family connection to them, then they make a very simple decision and remove themselves from voting. Public deserves confidence that the decisions being made are without personal or professional ties influencing this outcome. And that brings us to the most important question of the night. What's the actual basis for approving this rezoning? The applicant and the board hasn't proved to the public that it shows any benefit to us. It doesn't protect the current culture of the area, its makeup, or improve any of the quality of life. And there's something else that needs to be said very clearly. There's no mandate required. Oh man, that was
Thank you, Chase.
Dang it. Sorry, guys.
L. Stevenson.
Gail Stevenson, I lived at 1241 Moreland Road for 12 years. After some things have been said, I feel like I need to qualify this, that y'all keep telling us that there's no contract or agreement that's allowed by the court, that we can't make contracted agreements here. However, what I want to respond to is the lengthy public post that James Dutton made yesterday on his social media post. And he constantly refers to agreement, the agreement, the agreement. So let me see if I can get through this in 3 minutes. He first stated the village note on 362 calls for at least 2 commercial rezoning opportunities, both which wish to be gas stations. That's misleading. There's not 2 rezoning opportunities. One's already zoned. It's done. There's no rezoning for that parcel. He repeatedly refers to McElroy's proposal as a small gas station. It's not a small gas station. 16 gas and 4 diesel, a convenience store and 2 rental spaces, that's not a small gas station. And one of his quotes, I'm going to read it exactly if I can. If the county rejects the agreement as proposed, then that corner will get 60 new homes, an unrestricted corner gas station on the south side of 362, and the historic farmhouse will be destroyed. That's it. That's the choice. There is no door number 3. There isn't even an envelope to take instead. Referring to the south parcel, he stated the adjoining acreage is now owned by the south corner owner, and that station would be able to become a full-size station equal to the one on the north side. Both of those statements are misleading. We do not want to see that historic house demolished, but we would rather have houses built on this land than any commercial development. We concede that we cannot permanently protect the historic home. It belongs to McElroy, and if they choose to hold it for ransom, we the residents cannot afford to pay the ransom price by giving up our rural community to excessive commercial development. If McElroy has stated in private negotiations that they intend to build 60 houses, then that is either a threat for intimidation purposes or an acknowledgement that they have other options that will make a profit for their speculative investment. Since you haven't dinged, let me go back and say we the residents knew in July that that south parcel would be rebuilt as a gas station. We knew it, and we believe that this plan is more in line with our rural community. The 2 lots together are less than 2 acres. The gas station will have 3 pumps and a convenience store. That's our rural community. That's what we support, and that's what we ask you, please support us one more time and deny this. And we don't need 2 gas stations. Thank you.
Harold Amons.
Harold Amons, 109 Bethel Lane. The members of the community have spoken loud and clear each meeting We do not support the rezoning from AR1 to property to commercial. We have shared with the community the unfortunate demolition of the historic home on the property if not rezoned. While it's regrettable that the house would have to be torn down, the community still feels it would be better served by allowing the small store already zoned for commercial use at the south side intersection. The property consists of only 1.1 acres compared to the 12+ acres currently being requested, along additional surrounding acreage that could eventually become commercial. Although the Marybrook store has been closed for several years, it has been part of the community for over 40 years, and residents have long accepted its presence. The proposed north side request development, however, would dramatically change the character of our rural community. While the request today may be for a large gas station, retail only, community believes long-term could eventually lead to a full-scale truck stop as proposed on day one. For these reasons, we expect to ask you to deny the rezoning application once again and allow our community to remain the rural setting that residents value and wish to preserve and bought into. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Kella Barnett.
Good evening. My name is Kella Barnett. I live at 185 Rover Road for 11 years on property that has been in my family for over 100 years. Has anything changed since the original decision to deny a rezoning last July? Resident opposition has not changed. The residents have shown up at every meeting concerning this request, and here we are again asking our elected representatives to support us by voting to deny this request. It has also not changed that there are already 2 C1 properties at the intersection. Demolition and construction on the south corner parcel should begin within the next few months. We can say with certainty that there will be a convenience store with gas pumps on that property, one that is smaller and more in line with what is appropriate for the rural community that we live in. We do not need or want 2 convenience stores across the street from each other in this rural part of a 2-lane road. A vote to reverse and rezone agricultural resident property to C1 zoning is most certainly non-reversible. A developer can change their plans for the property and be sold or divided, but the zoning designation will remain. If the original denial is reversed, we, the residents, will have permanent loss to our rural community. Residents and developers are watching this reconsideration. Residents want to know that their elected representatives do actually represent them. They want to know that they will stand firm against corporations that try to use money, influence, private negotiations to control decisions in Spalding County. A reversal of the original vote to deny will set a precedent with far-reaching implications. Other developers will get the message that a valid legal decision can always be changed with the threat of a lawsuit. It may cost the taxpayers more to fight this one case, but what will it cost us in the long run? How many other lawsuits will be filed for previous denials made by this board? If a mistake is made, it should be corrected, but there was no mistake made on the original process and vote. Everything that was done in accordance with our zoning ordinances and upheld Spalding County's comprehensive plan and vision statement. I beg you, please stand up for our community, our county, and our residents, and vote once again to deny the request.
Thank you.
Randy Baird. Ired, please forgive me. I know, I'm sorry.
Brandy Byard, 135 Bethany Road, Williamson, Georgia.
You hear everything that my neighbors here have said, and I want to, y'all know I'm here to cause trouble, I'm sorry. But, I wanted to first point out the fact that, of course, we'd rather compromise and do the 60 homes or whatever he tried to say or whatever it's supposed to be. We would be happier with that because all of these people come from different walks of life and they're my neighbors. But yet we all come together in unity for something that we love and where we live. So more homes, more families and things like that, we'll have to fight something else later. We'd rather have that than commercial. So the trouble is, my issue is it irked us all and got to all of us as to have a county lawyer say that there's no money to fight developers with this rezoning or no insurance or whatever it was actually stated. There's a problem with us because we pay these salaries. We pay the salaries as taxpayers for you to fight this. You can't say we don't have money to fight it because if you lay down now to this first developer, there's going to be another one that's going to come up to try to do the same thing just so they can get their way. And then why would you think that we would not turn around together? All of us come together and sue you too. Then there you have litigation that you're going to have to pay for with that. I don't see where you don't think of it that way. The other thing is, as Chase mentioned, to have someone on board that is the cousin of McElroy, it seems like the integrity, where is the integrity? You should have recused yourself. This is how I think. And then the board should have held that person accountable. But I don't think that that's going to happen because he's a loose cannon. As of everything Gail just mentioned on his telling the public all this misinformation, misleading them of what's going on in our life, what we have to deal with every day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gordon Valamont.
Good evening, Gwen, Ryan, Reginald, James, and Clay. Thank you for allowing us to be here this evening. My name is Jordan Valamont. I live at 2722 Williamson Road. And as mentioned in the previous presentation that McElroy brought in, he clearly said that my house was the one that was affected, which it will be the one most affected if this development gets passed. It's 1,000 feet away from the proposed development, and I'm going to ask you once again to vote no for this development. If you look at statistics, you've heard about how everyone wants to have the rural community. I'm concerned for my safety. I'm concerned for my daughter's safety. Tongue in cheek, I don't want to look across the street and see TikToks and crack. And that's possibly what could go in that direction. My biggest concern, if you look at gas stations, if you look at corporate gas stations within BP, Citgo, Jones Petroleum, if you look at these gas stations within their HR, within their governing operations, they have different ways and curriculum that they teach every single one of their employees how to monitor and look for human trafficking, how to monitor and look for drug usage, how to monitor these different things. Why would corporations put that into a business model as learning and development for their employees if it is not highly probable within those gas stations? And what you have within this community is incredible risk if you put a large gas station like what is being proposed in this rural community with children, with mainly children. And I don't want to see it. And I'm going to ask you once again to vote no and not allow this development to be pushed forward. And within this, you know how Spalding County is, there's a lot of gossip. There's a lot of things that's been said about each and every one of you board members that have been good, some that have been bad. I'm going to ask you guys to restore the confidence within this community for you guys and not allow the things that have been said behind closed doors to perpetuate within your vote. So please vote no for this and restore the confidence that our community has within this board. Thank you.
Keenan Lowndes.
evening, Keenan Lundy, 943 Moreland Road. I'll try to stay on track tonight, but that 3 minutes go pretty quick. So let's focus on the cumulative burden on Spalding County. Cumulative burden that's going to be held over Spalding County's head and Henry County is the data centers that's coming. Me and my neighbors here, I think, have eaten that burden. That burden is already in our faces. I'm a water and wastewater professional for the city of Hampton, and I can tell you right now, it's not looking good. I live in this community, and I'm in full opposition of this. You guys have seen this time and time again. We are not in favor of the development that's right around our corners and being our neighbors. We're just not a friend of it. I'm way off the topic here, but as far as where I was trying to track, but this is an emotional state for me and my neighbors here. This is not being received well, that we have to come time and time again to show you guys that we are not in support of this. I'm going to side with my neighbors once again. This is not something that's in favor of what we want, and I want to state something for the record. Zoning precedent. Spalding County's section 501 for AR1 district states that they are intended to be, quote, free from other uses which are incompatible with low to medium density agricultural and residential uses, end quote. A gas station is the definition of incompatible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jamie Newton.
Aren't y'all happy to see me again? 101 St. Luke Drive. So I want to talk about how this plan is what, third, fourth, fifth time it's changed. What that proof is that they're just after rezoning any which way they can. They just want to get that 12 acres rezoned, that big block up there where you got lettering. That's exactly where they want to park trucks because, like they said, rezone it. It's going to be easy. They'll build whatever they want, however they want once it's rezoned. That's all they're looking for. Once you rezone these 12 acres, it's a foot in the door. What's stopping us from rezoning the rest of it? Keep doing whatever they want to do. Before, they said they weren't going to tear that building down. Didn't we come in here, and then they said they sue you guys because now they wanted their permit to tear that building down. Exactly what they said they were going to do. It's their land. They're going to tear the building down. It's gone. They're going to do whatever they want to do. And that's what you need to understand and hear. They're going to get their zoning, and it's their zoning, and it's too late then. We can't stop that. Funny thing is some of their best evidence they came and showed us were the pictures of the intersections where, you know what, the county's already screwed up and allowed us to have all these gas stations with the bad traffic and the trash around them. We already saw their own pictures were the best evidence of what we don't want in our community. That was just exactly the opposite of what we're trying to do here. So yeah, if we need 60 homes there, by my tax bill, that's over $250,000 in tax revenue right there. Put those 60 homes in. Get that $250,000. I know you guys want some more tax money. Grab that. Take that and be happy with it. We'll be happy with it. We don't want the commercial. So I know you guys got to get something out of this. It's farmland. It's not bringing in taxes. You guys see it. We see it. We'd love it to be farmland. Can't stop everything. But if that's what we got to have, let's go for the 60 homes. All right? That means we won't have the drain. It's not going to be a positive for us. They're saying it's bringing jobs. Tell me anybody you know working at a gas station that's not here draining our economy, because that's not positive. Somebody bringing in $10 an hour, $15 an hour even at a great gas station, they're not making money. They're not surviving. They're not paying rent. They're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 people in the household working to pay for a house here in town. We don't need to keep building jobs that require us to bring low-income housing in because we're building low-income jobs. That's not going to be a net positive for our county. We need to build homes, 3-acre homes, I don't know, 2,000 square foot, 1,600, whatever. That's going to be somebody in here that has some decent money. They're going to bring in money for your taxes. They're going to have a good job. That's what we need to bring in here if we're going to bring something in here. All right, let's not drain the county more than we already are, just to fill someone else's pockets out of this county. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bill Bryant.
Good evening. Bill Bryant. I live at 282 North Rover Road in Williamson. And I do have some updated handouts I'd like to make sure that commissioners get. Excuse me. I've got one for each of you, and I will be referring to that. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. Despite the many hours devoted to this consent order to remand agreement, I ask you reject it. Previously, the Board of Commissioners denied the original request. You followed planning and development documents, recommendations from the Planning and Appeals Commission, and listened. Then, the proposed McElroy development was not compatible with our comprehensive plan for this area. This new proposal has now grown dramatically. Now it would be even less compatible. McElroy's proposal will increase in size to 10,500 square feet from the original size of 5,000 square feet. That's 190%. If you look at the chart, right across the top in the red that y'all have, and I'm sorry I don't have a copy for everybody, but I've got listed there what's required in the McElroy remand: facility size, 10,000 square feet, number of gas pumps, 16 for diesels for semis, impervious surface of 3.5 acres, and then the lot size, and this is in the remand agreement, not up here. When I saw this online application this afternoon, 13.2 acres. So now it's dropped a little bit. So the closest comparable in size when everyone thinks of a gas station truck stop would be Racetrack down across from Ingalls, Walgreens intersection. That is only 5,554 square feet. McElroy would be allowed to build up to 10,500. It's a 190% increase. They have 16 gas pumps, 3 diesel, 4 semis for the semis, and then there's 4 EV charging stations. Their impervious surface is 2.69 less, and then their lot size is 9.62. All those figures were gathered from the Spalding County Tax Assessor website. So my ask is that you deny it, but I want to mention too, all historical preservationists interested in the Gassert home and the land have no guarantee that the Gassert house will remain standing. McElroy can demolish it anytime with a new permit. And how realistic would it be for the Gassert house ever to be used or occupied next door to a big travel plaza of 13 acres, 12 acres? So
Thank you, Bill.
please deny the application or the remand request. Thank you.
Diane Kalina.
I'm Diane Kalina, and I live at 13 Rover Road, Williamson, Georgia. I'm not really going to say anything that hasn't been said in this meeting, at previous meetings. I just want you to know that I think we band together as a community well to let you know that we don't want this. We don't want commercial. We're a rural neighborhood, and we want to keep it that way. So all I can hope is that you, the commissioners that we have asked to represent our voices, will deny the request today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Renew.
Hello, I'm Michael Renew. I live at 500 Aerodrome Way. I'm not in District 4. I am in District 3, right up the road from this. I normally prepare a speech, write things. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to say tonight. Everybody's done a very good job of speaking about anything I could possibly speak to. I will reiterate on the one lady that came up here to speak about if you allow one person to sue and you change your mind because they sue, that's a form of blackmail, in my opinion. So that puts y'all in a tough spot. I don't know all the rules, don't know all the regulations and laws and everything. We've had a lawyer speak to us tonight and tell us things. I have to gather facts the best I can. You know, it's silly season right now for election season, and lots of things get said, and you have to, as I think I've said online, you have to find the facts through the weeds. It's not always easy. And the only thing I know for sure, everybody here that spoke so far is definitely against this. I would prefer housing as well. I would love to not see that beautiful home destroyed. Maybe it can even be moved. Nobody's even talked about that. Maybe it can be, I know houses can be picked up and moved somewhere. It doesn't need to be moved. It's in a perfect location right now. So it would be nice, like I said, I think y'all have to, in my opinion, you don't have to, but in my opinion, should not allow this. And if you get sued and you lose, you still had the people's back that were here tonight. That's all I got.
Thank you, Michael.
William Slaughter.
Good evening, William Slaughter, 165 Slaughter Road. I do not live in the community, but I do care about the county, so I just want to come and give my support. First, I'd like to bring your attention, which I'm sure you're aware of it, the comprehensive plan that was, excuse me, adopted on 17 October 2022. So for the vision of this area, excuse me, the rural neighborhood character area will enjoy modest development that preserves open space and the rural quality of life. And also, neighborhood design should incorporate a high percentage of open space to ensure the overall character remains rural. And everything about this request is in contrast to what that just said. The owners purchased the property. I'm sure they knew about this comprehensive plan. If they didn't, they should have. So they purchased it with the intent of having it changed, even though this is what we want for our county. At least it's what it says we want for our county. So now they want to do what everyone's been saying. It's going to change dramatically. It's going to be a huge complex, probably comparable to the ones down in Zebulon off of 19 Highway. And apparently now, because the lawsuit being tossed out there, you know, you're considering going along with it so we don't get sued. But I like what the last gentleman just said, you know, even if you lose, you'll still have the respect of the county residents. If you just give in, we're going to continue to be a soft target. Let's see. Okay. And what, like everyone else is saying, if you approve this, then it's not going to stop at the 12.5 acres. They're going to continue to get what they want, and that's going to be more commercial or higher density housing. You will not appease them by giving in to what they want. So I encourage you to vote no. I encourage you to adhere to the comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan has a lot of good worded verbiage to it. If we stick to that, we'll have a good county. If we keep straying away from the plan, you'll lose a lot of good people from this county. We need to establish a strong zoning ordinance to protect our community. We've got to stop being a soft target. We've got to plan for the future, not react. And yep, that's all I got.
Thank you, William.
Aaron? Probably. Yes, I am, and thank you for noticing.
It's Sequel, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My name is Erin Sequel. I live at 32 Rex Road. Members of the board, I moved to Spalding County in 2021 when my husband and I decided it was time to build a house. We wanted a lot with plenty of room, quiet, and nature. We chose an area on Rex Road called Garrison Farms. We both work from home and could have chosen anywhere to live, but we chose Garrison Farms. There's also a large group of houses now being built on Williamson Road across from us with even larger lots, and I imagine those homeowners sought similar peaceful qualities when purchasing their homes, which are much more expensive than mine. Besides that current construction, the only sound nuisance in our neighborhood is traffic, particularly truck traffic. Especially with the stoplight at the intersection of Rover Zatella and Williamson, the sounds of trucks stopping and going, engine braking, which I thought wasn't even allowed in that area, and the rumble of cargo is a constant during the day. If I could call my dog to testify as a witness to that, I would. I am extremely concerned about an increase in traffic noise a gas station would bring, as well as roadside trash. I find it comical that the applicant suggests it meets the standards of a community crossroads offering a needed service. 1 mile down Williamson Road is a gas station with retail space and a Dollar General. A mile in the other direction is a gas station, retail space, and a Dollar General. And 3 miles down Rover Zatella, guess what? 2 gas stations and a Dollar General. I think it's quite a reach by the applicant to assume that GDOT, working to improve that intersection, was intended for commercial use. Could it not be because that was, and still is, a dangerous intersection that's seeing increasing traffic? Thank you for your concern, but we are set for gas and groceries and vapes and package stores and whatever would take up that retail space. Please vote no.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, that's all who have signed up this evening. Unless you would like to call him Mr. Fistool again to
He
rebut.
did reserve if he wants to.
Yeah, he did reserve.
As he's coming, could I make 2 comments? First of all, the current site plan, the new site plan was shown on the screen. The only difference is the entryway to Malloy rather than Rover Zatella. Comments were made regarding conflict of interest. Conflict of interest is governed by OCGA 3667A1. And in that case, a conflict exists if a family member has a financial interest in the property that is subject for zoning, and family member is defined as spouse, mother, father, brother, sister, son, or daughter. It does not reach to cousins. Excuse me.
So it doesn't reach to second cousins once removed on your mom's side?
It doesn't reach to any.
Because otherwise that'd be
it doesn't
conflict
reach
of
to any
everyone in
cousin.
Pike County. 'Cause-
Also, with regard to the property, please be aware that the original site plan submitted in 2024 provided for a 10,500 square foot building, which was 5,500 for the gas station convenience store, and two adjoining units of 2,500 square feet. So the size.
Say that again?
The original site plan was for, let me get to it, James. Hold
In the
on a
first
second.
application.
In the first iteration of the site plan was for, and I'm looking at one dated February 29th, 24. Now, the area seeking be rezoned has changed and been reduced, but the building size is the same as set forth in that site plan. Commercial square footage of 10,500 square feet, $5,500, I'm sorry, 5,500 square feet for the convenience store and two 2,500 square foot lease spaces. I just wanted to make certain we are talking from the same data. Thank you. That's all.
Okay.
Thank you, members of the commission. I just want, I'm not going to go through all of the discussions that we've had before. I do want to kind of bring us back to, again, thanking you for the opportunity to speak, but also to point out a little bit of what Mr. Galloway has pointed out, and that is that the site plan, all we did with the site plan was reflect what was in the discussions that we had had with the county. We did not make any, all we did was try to reflect a change in the access points and a reduction in the impervious surface. Everything else is the same. I want to make sure that we are understanding that the reason that we are here hopefully to reach a compromise to litigation and to kind of frame what the basis of it is that we are currently in an A1, or in an agricultural district, and that agricultural district, from our perspective, can't be developed. It is a holding zoning. It's got to be rezoned. The second point is that these community crossroads that we've been talking about in the comprehensive plan, all we are asking is what has occurred in the other community crossroads, which is C1 zoning, gas stations, convenience stores, and some of them have allow for diesel. All we are asking in this discussion is what the county is allowing in other community crossroads. And so we've now been through some litigation, and we are there's been an opportunity to discuss compromise, and that's why we're here today. And we would urge you to approve the proposed agreement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to come out of public hearing.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Thank you. We're now out of public hearing.
Do we need to do was this, because there's a 1 and 2. Okay, I'm with you.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Have you called the next item on the agenda, Mr. Chairman? I'll be more than happy to read it for you, sir,
Yes.
if you'd like.
I'm sorry, I thought I'd already read that, okay.
That's okay. Item number 2, reconsideration of remand, application 2409Z, McElroy Rentals LLC, owner 1279 Malloy Road, parcel 275010110, 2833 Williamson Road, parcel 234040002B, and a portion of 2831 Williamson Road, parcel 234040002, located in land lots 22, 43, and 44 of the Second Land District, consisting of approximately 12.5 combined acres. The applicant is requesting to rezone from AR1 agricultural residential to C1 highway commercial for a proposed convenience store with fuel service and future office retail spaces.
Okay. We've gone through a public hearing. We've been briefed by our zoning attorney. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to approve application 24-09C.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I want to make certain that that includes the conditions that are set forth in the remand.
In the
agreement.
remand order, with the conditions set forth in the remand order.
Okay. We have that. Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second? Okay. No second heard. No action on that motion. Do I have any other motions?
I would like just to second it for discussion.
Okay.
All right. My whole problem with this whole deal right now is there's some information come to light toward the end of the week last week. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. And I think, and I would love to ask McElroy to extend the deadline from March 31st, let's say, to May 15th to have some negotiations, because there's just a lot of information come to light tonight. and everything has been verified, even though they deny no one having any knowledge of it. It's just a perception to me, and to build my trust, I would look at you in good faith to maybe sit down and negotiate and talk this over. It's just, there's a lot standing here to lose than a corner with a store. It's just a lot. I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna probably tick off a few of y'all. I don't care nothing about that house. Tear it down. The house has never been a negotiating chip with me whatsoever. The day I rode by there and seen an excavator sitting out there, I thought it was gone anyways. It was just, it wasn't, I don't never feel there was any bullying, but the house was never a negotiating chip. The reason, it's just so much to talk about, and I would just hope that in good faith, y'all would do a little negotiating and talk, because it's just a lot, it's come to light, and it just sours my stomach, bad.
Okay, I have a motion. Any more discussion?
Yeah, I wanted to talk. We were talking about this remand agreement, and the post that I made on my personal Facebook to my acquaintances there, I want to talk about where I was wrong. And since I've made that post, I've learned that I was wrong in 6 different ways. It's not, the current zoning wouldn't allow for 60 homes. It would allow for like 22 or so, something in there, 22. The station on the south side still gets to come either way. What's wrong about that? I thought that this agreement was for the entire parcel, and it's not. It's just for the 12.5. When we discussed it, and we're going back and forth in negotiations about the remand agreement, I thought it was for the whole parcel, and it's not. It's just for the 12.5. I also referred to that corner as a village node. It's not. It's a community crossroads. There's a difference in that zoning. Now again, I really hope that they choose not to demo that historic house. I hope that something can be made out of it, bed and breakfast, cornerstone of a larger residential neighborhood. And I want to apologize for my use of the word small. Thank you for this chart. I'm looking at it, and they kept telling us, oh, this is just a little small, kind of like the Maryburg one, kind of like the little chevron. But it's that's not the numbers that we're seeing here, and I'm glad that I've got this in front of me. I don't like when, I will say this too, I don't like when my integrity is impugned. I go way, way, way above and beyond to make sure that I'm open and honest about all things. Are the McElroys my second cousins once removed? Yes, but that's true of half of Pike County, and probably a quarter of Spalding. So, you can't live here for 43 years and not get related to some folks. Does that have anything to do with what's going on tonight? Not at all. Or they'd be here looking at me, and they're not. Okay? When I look at rezoning and development stuff like this, I grew up on West Ellis Road, and perhaps I've got a little bit of PTSD from growing up surrounded initially by woods and then being surrounded by waterfront on Ellis on 3 sides, having multiple dogs poisoned, multiple dogs shot, multiple dogs stolen. Every car that's ever been parked in my parents' driveway has been broken into by people that lived in the development behind us. The constant noise, the constant music, even on Sunday afternoons, it has given me a very sour taste for developers, and very specifically for housing developers, because Spalding County has been a dumping ground since I've been a kid. We like to call it, almost jokingly, pre-blight, but that's exactly what it is. These outside developers come in here and they build crap. They're not all the nice houses that we see on that side of the town. They're not all Sun City Peachtree. And again, that might just be from my background growing up next to some real tricky folks that sold us one thing with Waterford and then delivered something else. That said, a lot of what was something else that was said tonight was we get all this tax revenue from residential, and y'all, everyone needs to understand that that's also not true. Georgia Tech did a very high level study here in Georgia about residential taxation. For every dollar that a residential neighborhood generates in taxes, the county has to spend $1.16 providing services to them. So, wow, look at all, we're gonna get $1 million in extra tax revenue. That's $1,160,000 that we're gonna have to spend providing services for that. So it's a net negative. So again, when I look at things and I go, boy, they're gonna get all these houses or a gas station. However, I've already gone over how I've been wrong. This isn't 60 houses. These are 3-acre lot houses. Okay, this isn't a small gas station. This is a pretty big gas station. This doesn't prevent there being 2 gas stations. If this gets approved, there still will be 2 gas stations. I'm glad that this has gone through this whole process, because what I thought we were agreeing to with the remand agreement was something very different than the reality. And when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I wanted to acknowledge that. That's all.
Commissioner Flowers Taylor?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I made the motion to approve for several reasons. First of all, I don't get on the internet trying to speak for the Board of Commissioners, because you know, you're never gonna have all the correct information. Secondly, there's a state highway that runs through that whole neighborhood. You're gonna have trucks driving on that road whether you put anything there or not. So I get it that people that live in that area move there. Maybe somebody moved there 20 years ago for the rural character, but your cell phone 20 years ago was different than your cell phone is today. So things change. I totally get that. But what I don't like is that 2 years ago, or in 23, whenever it was that McElroy made this application, there was nobody talking about opening a Marybrook store. And this seems to have evolved as a way of negating this application. In 2023, I can't remember if you said it was 2022 or 2023 when we had our last comp plan. I can see maybe 1 or 2 people in this room that actually came to the public hearings where we talked about community crossroads on state highways. So this has been there. This is not something we jumped up and came up with. This is part of the zoning ordinance. And for anybody else in terms of the house, I already know the slaves was buried out there. I know nothing good happened to them out there. So no, I don't care if that house gets torn down. I feel like if y'all wanted that house, y'all should have banded together as a community and bought it. That way you wouldn't have to worry about this. But all of that being said, is not the issue. If you guys own that property and somebody wanted to, you wanted to develop it, you would want to be able to do what you want to do because it's your property. You would have a right to be able to do that. I have nothing to gain whatsoever whether or not I vote for this or I don't vote for this. But I like to be consistent. I like to treat every development the same way. We have rural community throughout Spalding County, but we have state roads running through every road. 155, 16, 362, Georgia 3. There's everywhere you go. State roads are running into the country. So how do we do that? If you want us to change our ordinance because you don't want it in your neighborhood, then that needs to happen with the comprehensive plan. We don't just jump up and decide that this doesn't work. I've never been a person who is governed by mob rules, so I don't think that y'all came here as a mob, but just because all of you are here does not change the fact that we have a comp plan, we have an ordinance, we have done this kind of zoning for every community crossroads that has come here. So, I respect how the rest of the board feels about this, And the comment that y'all don't care if we spend money on litigation, I don't believe that. Because when you get your tax bills, when I get my tax bill, I'm very concerned about how the money is spent. And you elected us, or my constituents elected me to make the best decision that I know how to make. And so I try to wait a minute, you had your chance to talk, let me talk. I try to understand what people are feeling, but I feel like as a board, we have tried to maintain what our comprehensive plan is. We have tried to maintain the rural character of this community, but the fact remains that the Spalding County of 35 years ago is not the Spalding County that you have today, that we have today. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, any other discussion on this? All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the remand.
I did for sake of discussion.
Okay.
That don't mean I vote yea or nay, that just means I move to the next stage.
All right. All those in favor of that motion, please raise your hand.
Which motion?
There's only been one motion. There was a motion and a second. The motion was to approve.
Approved.
There was a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, hit your gavel, because that's not. Did you call for the question?
All right. Do I have that motion did not carry? What?
You do the vote for the opposition.
Oh, all those opposed to that motion, raise your hand. 4. Do I have a second motion?
It does not.
It didn't pass, that's the thing.
All right. I want to make sure that I'm okay with you if we don't have a second motion there, Attorney.
That is correct.
We have historically asked the board if a motion to either deny or approve fails, to make a second motion to make it definitive what your approval is. So it would be better, I mean, thus far, no action has been taken. But this has come up before. At the same time, you have not made a motion to deny.
I make a motion to deny, the application is written.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to deny. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 4, all those opposed. 1, motion is denied. Item number 3, consider approval of the Spalding County Election Office renovation proposal. This afternoon, during a work session, Mr. Brian Upson presented the
Chairman.
material to us regarding the,
Ask him. Let them leave.
You want to recess for a couple minutes, let Reggie?
Just 1 minute, Mr. Chairman.
let's have a quick recess of a couple of minutes, and if you're leaving, please move all the way out of this room so that we can continue on with the rest of our business tonight.
Hey, man. Yep, take care.
Thank you. You were a Marine? Is that right? Oh, congratulations. Oh. How long were you in? Oh. Did you enjoy it?
Parts of it.
I was an Army guy for a long time, and there were parts of it. There were some of it that was just.
Don't be mean to me.
back in session now. We'll move on to the next issue. Item number 3.
Mr. Chair, item number 3, consider approval for Spalding County Election Office renovations proposal. This afternoon during the work session, Mr. Brian Upson presented the material to us regarding the renovation of the Voter Registration and Elections Office. I've indicated, the county manager has indicated that the funds are available for this renovation coming from the fund balance. The plan is to competitively bid the project with a completion date of the work prior to general election in November.
All right, there was a discussion about needing a second add-on.
And continuing the bid to include the Veterans Administration Office, the Hall of Fame, and the Leisure Services portion of that particular facility.
All right, does everybody remember? Do I?
Mr. Chairman, so are we looking at,
Microphone.
sorry, we're looking at approving the TOF to start the initial work, and then they will come back with the remainder for the rest of the sprinkler system for that entire building, right?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. This is for the architectural design and to bid the work so that we can bring the bids back to you for consideration and then subsequently a contract to do the work.
In that case, since no one else is here to present, I would like to make a motion to approve the TOF for repairs and renovations to the Spalding County Elections Office and the remaining building.
Sprinkle the remaining building.
That.
Second. All right, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. I'd like to remind everybody that this was from a 3 o'clock session. We started at till 4:30 going over this. That's why some of this stuff is easy and quick for us. Item number 4, consider acceptance of the new national opioid settlement. I'd ask our county attorney to share with us this request.
Mr. Chairman, there has been an additional settlement that is known as the remnant settlement. There are several smaller companies who would be in danger of being bankrupt, but for the consolidation of their claims and of the claims against them into one settlement, which is known as the remnant settlement. And we will get money that will trickle in from these settlements as well, and we will just need your approval. You will be getting a DocuSign document in the very near future, maybe 6 DocuSign documents in the very near future. And in order for you to go ahead and be able to execute those so those funds can continue to come in, we would ask that the board approve the remnant settlement.
All right, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the acceptance of the remnant settlement for the opioid settlements.
And I second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Discussion?
What's more likely to get these companies to file bankruptcy for the evil that they've committed? Not accepting this or accepting this? Because there's very few things more maliciously evil, short of like Epstein Island stuff.
It is likely that once these settlement payments start from them, that at least half of them will go away.
That's a good news story.
I mean, this is like, they consciously, on purpose, addicted and murdered people, and now we get to take some of the money that they made from it. Anger is not the right word.
Okay.
I have a comment, Mr. Chairman. So we have a grants committee, correct?
Yes.
Now, is our grants committee?
We do not have a grants committee.
We have a grant.
Didn't we put
So what is it that is with Larry, the group
Yes.
of?
That is the CSBG Apartheid Committee. It is not the grants committee.
Okay.
So understanding, I know that in order for us to be able to document and to administer the CDBG grant, that is part of the state's requirement that there be a committee. But clearly there is going to need to be a committee that will be able to help decipher the disbursement of not only the funds that we have, but any other remaining funds that come in under the opioid settlement. So my suggestion is that we either, at the risk of creating another committee, if you have a grant committee, I would think that it should be able to, with the grant director, to be able to manage that and make recommendations back to us. Because that opioid money does us absolutely no good,
Sitting here.
when we
And
have.
these settlement funds continue to come in on about a quarterly basis from the various companies that have reached the settlement. The settlement agreements are all the same as far as how the money can be used. So there are only a certain a number of things that you can use this money for, and we've spent nearly none of it. We spent some on some Narcan, and that's all.
And at the one time when we bought the Narcan, I mean, Narcan only has a certain shelf life. So
It does.
wherever those people, that Narcan is now, it's really no good.
Actually, we will be bringing the request to replace the Narcan at the first April meeting.
So, you know, we need to look at how much Narcan is left over. But I'm simply saying that we have several recovery organizations here. We have Pine Woods, we have, you know, different, Resilient Georgia. There are organizations that are doing the work in drug recovery right now that don't have an avenue to be able to apply for this money to use. So that would be my concern, is that there isn't actually a committee that a grant application can come to and be considered and make a recommendation to us.
Remember we talked about Navigator?
Mm-hmm. Well, that hasn't kind of materialized, and like I said, even if that happens, there still needs to be a process to get to that money.
And this is fairly significant money in the end at this point. Okay.
That's all I had.
All right, thank you. We have a vote, motion. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. Consider approval of the contract with C.W. Matthews for the 2026 T-Splosh project. Dr. Ledbetter?
Yes, sir. LGA Engineering reviewed the bids received on February 26th for the 26 Spalding County T-Splosh resurfacing project. All bids were evaluated for responsiveness and compliance with the request for proposal and related addenda. 6 paving contractors submitted bids to the Board of Commissioners, and the Board of Commissioners awarded the contract to C.W. Matthews during our last Commissioners meeting held on March the 2nd. Since Ms. Wyndham, our county attorney, reviewed the contract, and tonight we're asking the Board of Commissioners to approve the contract in the amount of $5,496,217.40 to proceed with Year 5 T-Splosh programming using C.W. Matthews. The contract was presented to the board in your packet and has been approved to form by our county attorney.
At this time, I'd entertain a motion to accept the staff recommendation to proceed with contracting with the services of C.W. Matthews for the 2026 T-Splosh project in the amount of $5,496,217.40.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
How many miles of roads of resurfacing is that going to be?
It is approximately 21.58 miles of road.
That's all.
That's good. All right. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. At this time, we'll have item number 8, report of the county manager.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm happy to report that we did not suffer any significant damage from the storms that rolled through our area earlier this morning. I think we had a few trees down, a few lines down, but no significant damage, so that's great news. Please be weather aware for this evening and into tomorrow, as we expect temperatures to drop into the 20s. It's really cold outside, if you did not know. Please join us the week of March 30th through April the 2nd for the fiscal year 27 budget review with the Board of Commissioners. As is our custom, we will review each line item for each department. So it will be a long week, so please bring a couple of bottles of water with you. Mr. Chair, that's all I have.
Item number 9, report of the Deputy County Manager.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have anything tonight.
Okay. Commissioner Flowers Taylor?
I'm done.
Okay. Commissioner Bolden?
Yeah, I got a couple things. I'd like to just thank all the commissioners sitting up here. This is a very thankless job. It takes bravery to vote against us. I may not agree with Gwen on stuff, but she's got some cojones to get up here and vote against and go against the whole commission. There were some rumors going around. I had 4 or 5 people contact me that my little black cloud up in Henry County that I have never hid, that's been over me for 7 years, people were using that to try to persuade me to vote a certain way. That is absolutely false. Everybody on this board has been nothing but supportive of me.
Amen.
And I take offense to anybody claiming that any of these guys used my black cloud in Henry County against me. It's not gonna work. I mean, you can bully me, I've been shot at, stabbed. The only thing that's ever scared me was a pretty woman. So that's all I got to say about that. With this hearing tonight, just to show the transparency this board has, we weren't in statute, we didn't have to have a public hearing, but this board got together and decided to do it just to show some transparency. Commissioner Dutton, he made some mistakes on a post, and he's man enough to get up here and own it. He's never denied being kin to an applicant, in which he asked our attorneys for advice, and they said, no, if it's your wife or brother or sister, maybe, but don't excuse yourself on that. I feel that, you ever watched the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray? Well, guess what? It's gonna happen, so it's coming. But I'm hoping, and I'm not bad talking the judge that was over this. He's a great judge. I worked with him when I was with the sheriff department and stuff with juvenile. But I hope we get a local judge, somebody that's more in tune with our community to oversee hearings like this. Like I say, he didn't do nothing wrong, but I just think it would help with somebody familiar with the area. And that's all I got.
Okay. Commissioner Watts?
I want to say happy Women History Month. For a woman, I wouldn't be here, so I want to thank all the women for that. Also, I want to thank all the people for coming out and expressing, their thought. That's what we need all the time. Don't just come for one thing. You should be here every meeting and letting us hear your voice. And that's powerful. That's how democracy works. That's all I got.
Okay. Vice Chair?
I want to echo that. Look, if we had that many people that would come and review our budget with us, we wouldn't be missing a cent, all right? But you watch, end of the month, this room's going to be empty. There might be 1 or 2 people here that aren't county employees in some way. And that's a shame. That's a shame. Because that budget matters. So, Commissioner Bolden, we do support you. We absolutely have your back. No one up here has held that bull crap in Henry County against you. We've done nothing but pray for you, and we hope the best for you. I'm sure that sunlight is going to disinfect that garbage up there. That said, I've got a little bit of bad news. We've been going back and forth with the folks out of Salt Lake City, and it looks like because of the renovations, they're not going to be able to do the whole thing that we wanted. So we've been talking about postponing it maybe to October. So that's probably best for anybody being a little too tight here now anyway. So I think that's probably the best call for now. Not doing it over Easter weekend, but maybe I think it's the first weekend in October is the next chance. So anyway, I'll get back with them and get back with y'all and see what we can do. And that's it. That's what I got.
Okay. We'll start down with citizen engagement.
Yes, sir. Spalding U is going very well.
Okay.
Thank you for your efforts there.
Yes.
County Attorney. I'd like to say, yes, thank you for everybody coming out and voicing your opinion. I know some people think that we don't listen, we don't pay attention. That's not the way we are. We pay attention, we talk among ourselves to say, did you hear that point? I hadn't thought about it. Oh, you did. things like that are really important to us. We have a great diversity of thought on this board. People come from, this board comes from many different directions. We listen. We have great respect for each other. When one person doesn't get what their vote, they understand that this is a majority issue and take the time to think from the other side and then to support the rest of the board to be able to do that. On a personal note, tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, and over 50 years ago, my bride said yes when I proposed.
All right.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, please raise your hand.